All right, let's talk about a vitamin that doesn't get nearly enough of the spotlight. We hear all the time about C for colds and D for sunshine, but there's another crucial player, a real unsung hero working tirelessly behind the scenes in our bodies. Today, we're giving vitamin K its moment.
I mean, really, think about it for a second. You get that tiny, annoying paper cut, and what happens? Almost like magic, right? The bleeding just stops. What is that invisible force field that kicks in to save the day? Well, the answer might just surprise you.
So our whole investigation starts with its name, because its name gives away a massive clue about its most important job.
That's right. The K literally comes from coagulation. That's the German word for coagulation, or what we call clotting. It was first discovered as this anti-hemorrhagic factor, which is just a sciencey way of saying it's the essential ingredient our body absolutely needs to form blood clots and keep us from bleeding out.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Vitamin K isn't just one single thing. Nope. It's actually a whole family of compounds. And each member has its own unique personality and, comes from different places.
So, since we're talking about a family here, I think it's only right that we get properly introduced to the main players.
Okay, so on one side of the family tree, we have vitamin K1. Its technical name is phylloquinone. Just think of this as the plant-based cousin. It's the one you find in all those healthy leafy greens like spinach and kale. Then on the other side, you've got K2, or menaquinone. This one comes from animal sources and, get this, it's also made by the good bacteria living inside our gut. How cool is that? The main difference between them is just a little tweak in their chemical structure. But that little difference means they have slightly different jobs in the body.
Oh, and we can't forget about K3, or monadidione. This is kind of like the lab-created cousin in the family. It's the synthetic version, and it's built a little differently from the natural ones. And as we're going to see in a bit, that difference is super important when we start talking about safety.
So, what are these crucial missions that vitamin K is on 24/7 inside our bodies? Let's break down exactly how it acts as this incredible guardian for our health. Its most famous mission, the one it's best known for, is the clotting cascade. Picture this. You get a cut. Vitamin K immediately springs into action. It's like the key that turns on the engine, activating a bunch of special proteins, these clotting factors. Once they're activated, they all work together to build a solid clot that plugs up the wound and stops the bleeding. I mean, without that one simple step, even a tiny cut could be a really big deal.
But wait, there's more. Its resume is way longer than just blood clotting. Vitamin K is a serious multitasker. It's absolutely vital for our bones. It activates a protein called osteocalcin, which helps cement calcium into our bone matrix, keeping our bones strong and less likely to fracture. It also helps regulate how our cells grow and even plays a part in developing our brain's neurons. And listen to this. That very same protein it turns on for our bones, osteocalcin, also helps stop calcium from building up in our arteries, where we don't want it. This is huge. It means vitamin K is also a key player in protecting our heart and our entire cardiovascular system, a true guardian of blood, bone, and beyond.
Okay, I think we can all agree this vitamin is a pretty big deal. So the next logical question is, how do we make sure our guardian has all the fuel it needs to do its job?
Well, the best place to find vitamin K1 is probably what you're already guessing. Those awesome green leafy vegetables. Spinach, kale, you name it. Sprouts and cabbage are great too. For K2, you're going to look more towards fermented foods like certain cheeses or soybeans. And even some fruits like kiwis and grapes will give you a nice little boost. And don't forget about that amazing little built-in helper we mentioned earlier. The good bacteria in your gut are basically a 24/7 vitamin factory, constantly producing some vitamin K for you. It's this incredible partnership happening inside you right now.
So how much do we actually need? Well, it depends on your age. For tiny infants, it's just a couple of micrograms a day. That number goes up as kids grow, and then for adults, men need about 120 micrograms a day, and women need around 90. We're talking really, really small amounts, but they are absolutely non-negotiable for our health.
So what happens when our guardian is off its game? What happens when the system breaks down? Now, because we get it from our food and our bodies make it, a true deficiency is pretty rare. But it can happen, and when it does, the results can be really serious. Usually, a deficiency is a side effect of something else going on. For example, being on antibiotics for a long time can wipe out all those helpful gut bacteria we rely on.
Some medical conditions can mess with your body's ability to absorb it, and certain blood thinners actually work by intentionally blocking vitamin K. It's also a concern for some newborn babies, who just haven't had time to build up their own gut bacteria factory yet.
And the warning signs? They make perfect sense when you know what vitamin K does. If you don't have enough, your clotting system goes offline. So you might notice that you're bruising super easily, getting a lot of nosebleeds, or that a little cut just seems to ooze and ooze forever. In the worst cases, it can even lead to dangerous internal bleeding.
And for newborns, it's especially critical. A deficiency can cause a very serious bleeding disorder, and that is precisely why a preventative vitamin K shot is a standard, life-saving procedure for infants in many places around the world.
Okay, so what about the flip side? Can you get too much? This is a really important point. For the natural forms you get from food, K1 and K2, there's no known danger. Go ahead, eat all the kale you want. But that synthetic version, K3, that is a totally different story. In high doses, it can actually be toxic and cause serious problems like anemia and liver damage. It's a powerful reminder to get our nutrients from real, whole foods whenever we can.
So, from patching up a tiny cut, to building strong bones, to protecting our hearts, vitamin K is clearly so much more than just a random letter in the alphabet. It's a silent guardian, a whole family of complex compounds, and an absolutely critical piece of our health puzzle. Maybe, just maybe, it's time this unsung hero finally gets the recognition it so clearly deserves.